Fellow women leaders, dear friends, we live in a world in which progress on gender equality isn't merely stalling, we're seeing major setbacks. As the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres repeatedly stressed, everywhere in the world, women and girls face the greatest threats and the deepest harm. Worsening conflicts around the world have hit women and children hardest. Women's rights are backsliding and women's voices disappearing from view. As authoritarians and extremists weaponize misogyny to silence critics. And the rise of social media has made this all too easy. Not that digital platforms are inherently bad. In fact, they are powerful tools for change. They have empowered women to raise their voices, and they've connected activists who are driving progress on gender equality. But they are unfortunately also used by those looking to wind back the clock in a bid to silence women and gender-diverse voices in politics, the media, and in other fields. Hate-filled messages, death threats, rape threats, humiliating, doctored photos, all familiar horrors for far too many. Last year, UNESCO conducted a global survey of women journalists and found that 73% of them said that they had experienced online violence. And meanwhile, another study of women parliamentarians across the world found close to 82% had experienced psychological violence, while 44% had received death, rape, or other violent threats. And the aim of these systematic attacks? To crush female voices and shrink democratic spaces. This is a major concern as we head into a bumper election year in 2024, where 2 billion people across the world will be eligible to vote. Overlapping tactics of intimidation, shaming, and discrediting are used to attack women and gender-diverse voices and to depict them as unfit for leadership. We are seeing spoof accounts posting faked images, video, or audio clips, hacking, doxing, surveillance, and interception. The list goes on. An example, U.S. disinformation expert Nina Yankovic has been subjected to pornographic deepfakes as part of a broader campaign against her and her work. And Carole Kaltwalder, who exposed the Cambridge Analytica scandal, has also suffered months of abuse. And at one point, Nobel laureate Maria Ressa was getting 90 death threats an hour. Nothing, it seems, is off limits. Even the children of women journalists have been targeted, and we are expecting worse to come. Generative AI tools have equipped disinformation actors with potent new technologies, making it easier to create high-quality, convincing fakes cheaply and at scale, and they're already being used to target women and girls, as well as minorities and vulnerable groups. Already, many women are thinking twice about raising their voices, and in the worst cases, women decide not to speak up at all, or to join politics, or to pursue leadership roles. It's an effect that has been described as the chilling. And there are many brave women, though, who refuse to be silent, who persist with courage, resilience, and commitment, and we owe them a better response. Because there can be no trade-off between a woman's right to be safe and a woman's right to speak. The UN system is putting together ways to make the digital space more safe and more humane. My team and I are working on a voluntary global code of conduct to guide the international community in addressing these issues, and we're looking for ways to make the internet safer for women and all marginalized groups, to limit the impact of gender disinformation. And we are urging the platforms to be more proactive against abuse while vigorously upholding freedoms, to end business models that profit from online hate and lies. Yet the UN, of course, cannot achieve this alone, and like you, we are engaged in meaningful partnerships and exchange across business, politics, academia, arts, and media, and that's why events like these are so vital to our work. So, as we gather under this banner of power together for leadership, let's take a stand together against online threats and harassment and create a safe environment for women's vital work. Together, we can celebrate women in positions of power, we can forge key partnerships to keep up the pressure, and we can continuously raise the alarm on violence against women, online and offline, and push back against the perpetrators and the enablers. Because one thing is clear, in our increasingly polluted information ecosystem, we cannot afford to stay silent. Thank you.